The Unbreakable Self, Stoic Courage meets Bhagavad Gita's Inner Warrior. Chapter 1. The Mountain Within. Imagine a lone traveler standing at the edge of a high plateau overlooking a vast canyon. The wind roars, the ground trembles, and a sudden storm sweeps across the sky, yet the traveler does not flinch. This vivid image recalls the story of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who, during his long march through rough terrain, stopped once and whispered to himself, "The obstacle at the center of the work is my friend." He imagined the mountains as a mirror, reflecting his own inner strength. The lesson that spills out of that moment is simple. The real battle is not against the world outside, but against the limits inside. When external conditions seem overwhelming, the Stoic reminds us that our reaction, fear, frustration, or resolve is ours to choose. A practical way to practice this today is to pause when you feel the pressure of a looming deadline or a heated exchange. Step back, breathe, and ask, am I reacting to the storm or am I simply responding to it? This brief moment can ground your mind, allowing you to act with more purpose. In the conclusion of this chapter, let us remember that the strength of a mountain does not lie in resisting the wind. It lies in standing steady while the gale blows around it. If you like this insight, please tap like, share with a friend who needs a dose of courage, and subscribe for more journeys into ancient wisdom repurposed for today. Reflective question. When you face storms in your life, do you become part of the turbulence or do you stand your ground, allowing the wind to pass through you? Chapter 2. The Warrior's Breath. In the ancient battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Prince Arjuna found himself in a silence that pierced his resolve. His mind filled with doubt and sorrow as he looked at his own kin poised beyond the horizon of the fight. It was at this pivotal moment that Krishna, his guide, spoke the eternal mantra of the Bhagavad Gita. Action is the root of all prosperity, but its attachment is the root of all suffering. Arjuna was taught to breathe, not to hold his breath, and to commit to action while remaining detached from their fruits. That breath became a bridge between the mind's noise and the truth that lies beyond. Today you can echo this lesson by taking a mindful pause before a presentation or a negotiation. Inhale, exhale, and release the expectation of applause or failure. By separating yourself from the outcome, you preserve your energy and improve the quality of your contribution. When we let go of the illusion that success is the gatekeeper of our worth, we step into the role of a warrior whose inner calm is the weapon that steadies every stride. If you find this message resonant, give this video a like, share it with a colleague who could use the courage to act unattached, and subscribe for more ancient truths that empower modern action. Reflective question. How can you practice detachment from results while still committing fully to the effort you put in? Chapter 3. Storm and Calm. Consider the parable of the Chinese Taoist sage Laozi, whose wandering across the kingdom taught many that the most powerful path is one that follows the river unnoticed. He observed that when the river flows, it neither rushes nor lingers. It simply continues, shaping the land, absorbing resistance, and emerging unbroken. When we face external fury, whether market turbulence or personal conflict, our natural tendency is to push harder, to force the outcome, mirroring a storm that tries to tear the river's banks. The Taoist insight invites us to meet that force with gentle flow. You can test this today by confronting a critical email without immediately replying. Wait, observe your heart, let the message ripple through your mind, then craft a response that reflects your values, not your emotions. By riding the wave of urgency calmly, the outcome often turns out far kinder than if you had surged. In this chapter's conclusion, let us recognize that the strongest rivers do not resist weather, they adapt to it. If you found inspiration, please like, share the flow with fellow travelers, and subscribe so you might keep learning how to be water in a world of stone. Reflective question. When you encounter a sudden surge of pressure, how can you flow with it rather than push against it? Chapter 4. Eternal Echo. In the story of the Egyptian pharaohs, a wise king once asked his advisors how to maintain power without fear of collapse. Their answer came from a humble scribe who spoke of the ancient rhythm. Your word is your covenant, your word is the echo of yourself. This echo, as the pharaoh would later learn, reverberates far beyond the walls of his palace. It builds reputation, attracts allies, and protects against internal dissent. Modern leaders can capture this principle by treating every spoken agreement as a seed that will grow or die. Before you commit to a project, a partnership, or a promise, pause and ask, will it echo in the places I want to sow? Will it build trust, or will it crumble? Closing the chapter, we remind that an echo is far more powerful when it is clear and unyielding, because it builds its own structure over time. If you appreciate the idea of an echo that shapes destiny, tap like, share with your network, and subscribe for further insights into how ancient stories illuminate today's leadership challenges. Reflective question: how do the words you speak today set the echo for tomorrow's opportunities? Chapter 5. Rise of the Unbroken. Picture a young entrepreneur in a cramped office, staring at a line of code that refuses to compile. Her mind drifts between anxiety, frustration, and the urge to abandon the project. Yet somewhere deep, a quiet voice, the very voice of Stoic resolve and Gita wisdom, reminds her that suffering stems from the illusion of control, not from the problem itself. She takes a short break, breathes, and re-examines the code, not as a foe, but as a puzzle to solve together with herself. She then tests a small change, learns from the outcome, and repeats. By combining the Stoic practice of internal authority over reaction with the Gita concept of action without attachment, she transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward growth. The lesson here is integration. The unbroken self is neither rigid nor passive. It is a warrior who fights with calm, a builder who constructs with purpose, and a pilgrim who keeps moving while holding his true north. If you feel this message, kindly like, share it with someone who needs that spark, and subscribe to our channel for more pathways to build an unbreakable inner life. Reflective question: in what ways can you merge Stoic discipline and the inner warrior's calm to turn today's challenges into tomorrow's strengths? Philosophy Spotlight. Stoicism. Stoicism invites us to view the world as a set of events beyond our control and our internal responses as fully within our domain. The core idea is a simple but profound one. External events are not good or bad. It is our judgments that are. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled Rome, recorded his meditations on how to keep the mind clear amid chaos. He spoke often of looking at the world like a mirror. Each image it reflects is part of the same essence. From this wisdom, we extract 3 lessons that shape modern success: motivation and personal growth. First, acceptance of the unknown frees mental bandwidth. When a project stalls not because of your effort but because of shifting market forces, you let go and redirect your focus to what you can influence: planning, learning, and execution, rather than grumbling. Second, an internal locus of power teaches resilience. Instead of blaming circumstances, you learn to master your thoughts and actions. This mindset turns setbacks into opportunities for honing character, much as a blacksmith forges steel over fire. Third, disciplined reflection creates wisdom. Daily review of decisions, emotions, and outcomes sharpens judgment, making each choice more aligned with your core values, a practice that modern leaders use to build trust and clarity. These points connect to our overall theme by showing that the Stoic courage which stands rigid against a storm is equally the calm that lets a warrior breathe before a charge. The Stoic's internal strength is the shield that guards the Gita's action without attachment. When you marry these perspectives, yourself becomes unbreakable, resilient, purposeful, and aligned with a higher purpose. Thank you for joining this journey through ancient minds and modern challenges. If you found value in these teachings, please like, share, and subscribe so we can keep exploring how timeless wisdom shapes today's world.